The UK general election is forthcoming in a couple of weeks from now. All political parties are coming out with their manifestos telling the electorate what they intend to do. But one of the major factors in this election is migration. All parties are coming up with their plan as regard net migration in the UK. These and many more I'll be sharing with you, because the Labour Party, Conservative, Lib Democrat and other political party, they've all come up with their proposal, what they intend doing if they are elected into power during the next general election. So guys, if you care to know more about some of the proposals these political parties have put forward as regard net migration in the UK, you need to stick with me to the end of this video so we can discuss some of the proposal as it affects migrants and those who are already living here in the UK on a pre-settlement status. Hi guys, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're coming across this channel for the first time, in this channel I give latest updates on ways you can study abroad, ways you can migrate through the skilled workers migration route. I also give latest updates on UK immigration policies and changes to UK immigration policies. If this content looks exciting to you and you gain value for this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button to join the amazing ever-growing family. You can as well give a thumb up so YouTube can recommend this content to a wider audience. There's so many migrants out there that need this valuable content to be able to make an informed decision. So guys, let's get straight into today's video. UK general election will be coming up in a couple of weeks from now, and one of the determinant factor in this forthcoming general election is migration. All major political parties have put up different recommendations on what they will do if they are elected in the forthcoming general election as regard migration. The Conservative, as we all know, they are the government in power. They've put several measures to see how net migration can be cut down, which in fact has produced significant results. The number of visas that were issued from January to date, you can see the sharp decline in the number of visas they've issued. This is as a result of some of the policies the government have put in place to cut down net migration. Net migration is the total number of persons that came into the UK less the number of people that returned back after their initial visa that was granted to them to come into the UK. Take for instance, 300 students were given visa to come and study in the UK, right? A one-year study program. At the end of their study period, the number of persons that returned back to their country, the number of persons that remained back become the net migration. If out of the 300 persons that were granted visa to come and study here in the UK, 150 returned back at the completion of their study, while 150 remained back in the UK. So that 150 that remained back in the UK will not constitute a net migration. So some of the policies the government have put in place is to cut down net migration, not the total number of persons that they granted visa. And some of the ways they can cut down the net migration is to try and tighten some areas those they've granted visa can use to extend their stay here in the UK. Take for instance, international students can no longer switch from their Tier 4 student visa while studying until the completion of their course of study. Upon graduation, those that switch from Tier 4 student visa to health and care visa can no longer add their dependents to the health and care visa route unless they get a sponsorship from different skill set or different occupation code. These are some of the measures the Conservative government have put in place to cut down net migration, such that at the expiration of their initial visa, the means of extending it will become very difficult. So these are some of the policies the Conservative government have put in place to cut down net migration. With the forthcoming general election, the Conservative have come up with a new proposal as a pledge to their electorate, knowing fully well the past electoral promises they've made to their constituents, they were unable to meet up with it. But this time around, they are coming up with a different blueprint, assuring the electorate that this time around, if they are elected to continue their stay in government, they are going to bring some drastic changes that will further cut down net migration in the UK. I'll be sharing my screen with you so we can read some of the electoral pledge the Conservative have made to their constituents. The Conservative Party has unveiled a new general election pledge to cut immigration by creating a new annual cap on visas. As Rishi Sunak faces an intensified challenge from Nigel Farage, right-wing party Reform UK. In a new policy announced hours after Mr. Farage stated his intention to stand as a candidate for Clacton, the Tories vowed to put a yearly limit on the number of UK visas issued, a move long demanded by Tory headliner, including the former Home Secretary, Suella Braverman. The electionary pledge the Conservative parties are putting up at this minute is to put a cap on the annual visa issued to migrants coming into the UK. In other sense, the number of visas that will be issued to skilled workers will be on a yearly basis. After issuing the number of visas they intend to issue on that year, any further visa application will not go through. With this new proposal, which, if you read further, it states that on annual basis, the number of visas issued to skilled workers coming into the UK to work will reduce yearly. That is to say, if the number of visas they agreed to issue out this year to skilled workers coming in from abroad is 50, then following year, the number will reduce to maybe 40 or 30. That is what the Conservative are planning to do. Let's read further to get some clarity about some of their electoral pledge they are putting up as the fourth general election is coming. Plans will see the government ask its Migration Advisory Committee to provide a recommendation for level of annual visa cap, which ministers will then consider before putting the proposal to Parliament for a vote. The newly proposed cap will be imposed on the number of visas that can be granted to those coming to the UK on work or family routes. Temporary work routes such as seasonal agricultural workers would not fall within this cap. The proposed cap on annual visa issued will not affect temporary seasonal workers, right? So it only affects the skilled workers, those coming in to work here in the UK, and family route, those that have spouse here in the UK and they are trying to bring their family from abroad to come and join them here in the UK. So the number of visas that will be granted for work route and family reunion will also fall within the number of visas that we have capped in annual basis. So the Conservative are coming up with a stringent migration blueprint to further cut down net migration here in the UK. The Labour Party, on the other hand, are also coming up with some strong proposal to cut down net migration. So net migration is a determinant factor in the forthcoming general election here in the UK. In my next video, I'll be sharing with you some of the proposals that have been put in place by the Labour Party, which is the main opposition party in this election. So guys, we've come to the end of this video. If you gain value for this video, don't forget to subscribe to this channel to join the amazing evergreen family, and you can as well leave a thumb up so YouTube can recommend this content to a wider audience. See you in my next video.